What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project, our Discord competition entry, the Karagiri Tamago. I can never say that car name. It is, I don't know. It just doesn't sit with me very well. It doesn't work. Anyway, this is the beautiful beast we will be making today. It is the Virtual Mechanic Edition. It's got 222,500 kilometers on it. We got it from the auction, and the condition is not too bad, if I'm being honest. Let's have a look at what we paid for it. I paid 11,565, and I got ripped off just by a tiny little bit. I could sell it for 10,412, missing out on 1,153 of my finest credits. But we won't be doing that. We won't be selling it here. We're going to be upgrading this one today. There is a few choices of engines. I'm not swapping. I'm keeping with the i3 double overhead cam turbocharged engine. That's what's in it right now, or sort of. I'll show you in a minute. 149 base horsepower. I was going to say brake horsepower, but that does work. Base horsepower on this one. We will be putting performance parts all over this engine today, making it as fast as we can. And when I say what's in it at the moment, you can see it is just the block and the gearbox. Probably a few other little bits in there. No pistons, nothing like that. So yeah, bit of an empty one that, but this is what we're going to be working on. As you can see, it is absolutely slammed to the floor. Front and rear bumpers are touching. I have some bonus parts to go on with the side skirts, along with a spoiler, along with a little bit in there just to cover up them suspension pieces poking up through because I don't like them and I think they are ugly and I couldn't get rid of them. So, one more thing, I do have the Bentley brakes on these, so I will not be releasing this config. Please do not ask me for it. I cannot release this one because until they make these brakes actually properly available, you can't use them. They are available in the car config creator. I've totally blanked on what it's called there, but you can't buy them. So if I can't repair these, I have to go and buy a brand new version of this just to rip the brakes off to put them on this car. They are repairable, but if they're too far gone, I won't be able to. And just before we jump in and get that lovely car over to the car wash, here is the updated speeder board with the Chevrolet Lumina on there, taken comfortably in 4th place, looking absolutely fantastic. Bumping off the El Camino and putting the Dodge Charger into 10th place. Sweet looking speeder board. That's the first time we've had a new entry on there for a little while. Will we have any more in the future? Definitely not with today's little beast. But this one is going to be a fun one. So let's get started. Let's get over to the car wash and get it cleaned up. Here we are then at the car wash. Let's get her cleaned. It doesn't matter what colour she is. I have a custom livery that will be going on this one today. Although it's not looking too bad in this sort of orange colour. It's very bad condition, but the colour itself I quite like. But let's get it interior done. Let's get it on the lift, and let's get what's little's left of that engine ripped out and ready to strip everything down. Let's get underneath and have a look then. I'm pretty confident there'll be no oil pan. There is no oil pan, but we do need to get this gearbox out. And luckily the starter isn't attached. I'm sure this starter is meant to go at the top. The other issue we have with this is, as you can see, my front drive shaft doesn't line up with the drive axles. Now, I am very disappointed about this. I could not find one that worked at this height at all. And yeah, so unfortunately, that is just what it is. That will be going back in later, but it's just a bit of a shame. And it does mean I don't have to take these front drive axles out. So let's just get this gearbox out, and then we can rip that tiny little block off, the last piece in there. And then we'll start stripping down the engine bay, which doesn't look like it's got anything in it. But we will also check out that suspension in a second as well. Let's get you lowered down. Let's get this engine out. Over you go. No hood on there already, so let's get you removed. Out you come. Nice and easy. Put you away. And let's have a look at the engine bay. As you can see, the Bentley brakes, as they are there, they are Bentleys. I'll show you in a second. Come with the air shocks. It doesn't make any difference. Just a bit of a funny looking shock. I don't even know if you can paint these. We will check them later. We are missing the entirety of the engine bay. There is quite a lot to it. We've got an ECU, power steering reservoir, the ABS pump and module, a brake servo, a battery, a fuse box, an air filter, radiator, the coolant reservoir, and the wishy-washy reservoir. Lots missing on this one, which is a bit of a shame, but it is something we've got to deal with. So let's move down. Oh, actually, that's one thing we didn't check. Do we have the oil pan? The fuel tank, oil pan, fuel tank and fuel pump? No, we do not. So we do need to buy them as well. Let's get these wheels off. Let's take a look at these Bentley brakes. Now, there's a specific reason I've put these on here. These brakes colour absolutely perfectly when they go on. So I'm hoping these are repairable condition. We will check in a second, but let's check we've got everything. We've got the bearing, the no hub cap because of the drive axle. We've got the sway bar end link, the inner and outer tie rod. All of the bushings on this side looking good. Let's get the other one off and let's have a quick look under here. Obviously, these are double wishbone and they offset with the air suspension, looking pretty snazzy. Wheels are on. I'm pretty confident this is all complete. So, yes, that's looking good. All of the bushings, Let's jump down the back, get one of these wheels off, and then just take a quick look underneath and see what we have got. It is the everything bushings everywhere version. I quite like it, not too bad. Regular brakes at the front, unfortunately, they are not available at the back at all, so we couldn't do that. But it does, again, look like it is all here, all complete. We've got all of the springs, we've got the shock, we've got the sway bar end link, all of the rubber bushings. We'll jump over the other side. I won't take the wheel off, but that's all there as well. It is looking all complete. Very, very happy with this. We need to get on, and I need to go and order everything from that engine bay and get the rest of this suspension stripped off. So I will see you in a few minutes, and then we'll go and strip down what's left of that i3 engine. That's everything stripped off. Let's head over into the other room and get that engine stripped down. I've already got it on the stand, and there is nothing left on it, pretty much. As you can see, it is just the block, the clutch, and if I rotate it the wrong way as normal, and the crankshaft. That is it. So we're just going to get all of this out. I'm going to go and repair what I can repair. Hopefully them brake calipers, they didn't look too bad. Hopefully I don't mess up on that. Then I'm going to buy the bits I need to buy to get this engine built back up. And then we're going to go strip the body on that car and get it assembled just the way I want to see it. So I'll see you in just a couple of moments. That's everything bought and repaired for this lovely little car, apart from this bodywork. So let's just get, especially these Jurassic plates, the license plates, let's get all of this ripped out. Out with the headlights, off you come. Out with the fender. Now, I have worked quite a bit on this car. Not so much stripping down the body and stuff like that, but I have learned pretty much what is what. We'll see. I'll probably make a few mistakes regardless, but there we go. Hopefully, I should be able to get all of this in one sort of easy foul swoop. Let's get the interior out. Out you come, out you come, out you come, and out you come. And that, I believe... double check round, make sure I haven't forgotten anything. That should be everything. Let's go and double check into here. 1% into here. I have got everything. Thank you very much. I was a little bit worried. Let's get the welder over and let's get this frame all sorted. Now, I bought the car for 16,000. It wasn't in awful condition, so I'm going to say 800. 600. Not far off, but still not getting it right. I only got it right that one time. We'll quickly jump in and we'll have a look at the bodywork shop. So for the Karagiri Tamago, there we go, that's the base shop. I'll be using obviously a lot of these parts in here, and then you also have the body tuning shop underneath in here where you get an alternate bumper, some alternate lights, which I'll be using. All of the alternate lights, I'm using the alternate bumpers already, but I won't be using the alternate hood. I've put my own hood scoop on there. Now that frame's all sorted, I'm going to get all the body panels repaired that I need to get repaired, buy what I need, including some bonus parts, and then we'll get all of this reassembled. I'll see you in just a minute. Here we go then. Let's get this beautiful little car all back together. Let's start with the hood. On with the plain basic hood. On with the front bumper. We already know that's the aftermarket bumper. Let's get these aftermarket lights in as well. Didn't come with them, but they look sweet. Very happy with them. On with the fender, windscreen, and the doors. Let's get that body window in, along with the door window and the mirror. Nothing we can do about much of them. Let's go down to the back. So we've got the rear bumper. We already knew that was aftermarket. And we've now got the aftermarket tail lights as well to match. On with the trunk. On with the trunk window. Body window on you go. Door on you go. Let's just get that fender on real quick. Window and mirror. That is all of it back together basics-wise. Let's get in and get this interior in. I have changed a couple of little bits in the interior. You probably already know what one of them is, or two of them are, should I say. So we've got the Tamago seat in there. Then the front seats, I've gone with my lovely Lismo seats because I love them. They go in everything and they look insane. And for the steering wheel, I went for the M3. It's probably a regular choice for me. It's quite a nice looking steering wheel. I do quite like it. Let's crack on. That's the wrong button. We have some additional body parts to go on to this one today. So let's crack on with that. It's the wrong button. I keep pressing the wrong button. Left, right, and center. Additional body parts. There we go. So at the front, we've got a little hood scoop going on there. Hopefully looking fantastic when it's all painted. At the back here, we've got a roof spoiler coming off of the pre-existing roof spoiler just to give it a bit more extra. In here, I have to do this with the boot on. This is to cover up the shocks. That will obviously be a body match painted to the car. And then down the side, this is my favourite piece. We have these massive side skirts. that you can see on, and they will be painted to match the car, not necessarily body colored, but that looks absolutely insane. Now, sadly, one thing I do have to do when we come to paint the car is I do have to take these side skirts off because they paint body color, and I don't want them painted a body color. But let's head over. No, before we head over to the paint shop, I forgot one thing. My license plates. Here we go. We've all seen the virtual mechanic plates so far. Let's get them on. These are the slammed one, because this is slammed to the ground. Looking absolutely incredible on with you as well. Slammed one. Nicely done. Let's get it over to the paint shop. Let's check out the livery I've created, and then let's get it on the car and see what it looks like all together. I'll see you in a bit. Here it is then, my lovely custom livery. I'm very happy with this. It's got the little flicks coming off from the front grille there, and this white stripe going all the way around. It does circle underneath the underside of that as well into there. All the way around, a few more flicks up there over the wheel arches, down the side, across the spoilers, and under the spoilers as well. So if you don't have the spoilers, it does still work. Over the lip of the rear arch, round the back, just above the lip there, and then round down to the other side. Looking absolutely insane. I will just show you, if I take the spoiler off here, there is a little bit of strip on there, so you could still do it without the spoiler if you wanted, but I am going for the spoiler at the moment because it looks absolutely insane. And I have done this one in here, just about to see the light reflecting off it, just in a sort of grey to match in with the interior, so you can't really see it. There is one issue with all of these spoilers though, because they are spoilers, they are all affixed to the trunk. So when they open, you lose all of them and they all disappear everywhere. But we just won't open the trunk anymore, and this car will be absolutely fine. Loving this matte orange and white though. Not 100% sure what to do with the engine because most of the covers and stuff on this doesn't paint very well, so we probably won't be able to get the orange on it. We definitely won't be able to get the white on it, so we may just have to black it out. We shall see. Unsure on the rims on all my test versions of this. It's never come out in the orange and white. I've never done it orange and white, so this is the first one for me, so I'm going to have to figure a few bits out, what I'm going to paint, what I'm going to put where. Hopefully this car is going to look absolutely insane when it's finished. I'm thinking about doing orange rims, so these matte orange rims to go with it, and then white brake calipers maybe. But we shall see. Maybe we'll alternate, do orange rims at the front with white brake calipers, black rims at the front with orange brake calipers, something like that, or even white rims with orange calipers. We shall see. That actually might look pretty good. Maybe we'll do that. I'm not sure. I'm going to have a play around. I've got some parts to paint regardless. But let's get this one back on the lift. Get all the parts painted and get that suspension back in. Hopefully this one's going to look insane. I absolutely love how this car looks. It looks so, so good. I'm so happy with it. And you can barely even see that spoiler sticking through now that it's painted in a grey colour. Just about to see it's there, but not too bad. Anyway, I don't need to do shocks today. We're straight into suspension because I've got air shocks today. So let's just jump in and start getting this reassembled. On we go. Not much in this one at the front. So we've got a white cross member, and I think that looks pretty sweet. Obviously, the engine bay itself is a pretty orange with all the colouring in it, so the white in here just keeps it enough that it just looks, it's just going to give it a splash of colour inside the engine bay. Let's just get a few of these bits on. Oh, what have I pressed there? What are you doing? There we go. Front steering knuckle, on you go. Don't even know what's happening. So then the upper suspension arm, this is also in white. There is quite a lot of white underneath this car. Don't worry, there is a bit of orange as well, though. On with you, looking good. Also in the white, and then we've got the air shock. That is in the orange. I think that looks fantastic in orange. Excuse the engine there, never mind. Let's get that sway bar front end link on. On you go. We'll get the outer tie rod on, and then we just need to get all the rest of this, the axle knuckle cover, the front hub, and then the drive shafts. Maybe it'll let me put the drive shafts in. I'm not sure. Oh, it will, because it doesn't line up, so it doesn't matter. In with that front drive shaft there. Get the performance brakes on, brake pad on, and then these lovely Bentley brake calipers, which are in orange, and these look so good. The reason I wanted to use these brake calipers is because they paint so well. They're not quite the same colour as the shock, but it is a very close, and that is looking awesome. I'm so, so happy with that. Let's move down the back and see what we've got going on down here. Let's just get that knuckle housing on. We can't paint that one anyway. So the rear cross member is an orange down the back. Tiny bit of alternation. It's nothing too special. Get these rubber bushings in so I don't forget them. Otherwise, I know for 100% fact I will. In fact, last time I did this one, I forgot the sway bar end link. So I'm going to throw that one in now so I can't miss it later. In you go there. Let's get a bit of colour on this. So the rear suspension arm, the lower one, is in the white. And I think it looks pretty cool. You got the orange into the white there. The rear upper suspension arm is also in the white there, so you've got more orange into white. And then this rear suspension arm A is also in the white. And I quite like the separation of colours there. It's looking pretty sweet. We've got the shock absorber is in orange because the front shock is in orange. Then we've got the spring cap just in white because we want the spring to stand out off of it in his orange, looking as sweet. Actually, I really like this colour scheme. It came together a lot better than I thought it was going to. Then the rear suspension arm sticking out the side, also in the orange, just for a splash more colour there. Let's get on and get the rest of this on up the front of rear hub. Apparently, I've become Roger Rabbit or something like that, Bugs Bunny. There we go, in with the hub. On with the brakes, and then we've got the hubcap just in orange as well. It doesn't make any difference. I just wanted to paint it a colour. Then we got the brake pads, and then the normal brake calipers. Now, these are in white, but you're going to be very disappointed with this. This is why I love the Bentley brakes so much. Okay, that's not actually too bad. That's come out looking all right. In the paint shop, that just looks silver or grey, to be honest. But on the car, that's not looking bad. Compare it to the matte whites on these arms here. Actually, it looks all right. I'm quite happy with that. Let's just get my last rubber bushing in again so I don't forget it. Nice. We'll get the fuel tank in while we're here and the fuel pump so I don't have to come back to that in a moment. But I'm going to get the rest of this all finished up, and I think that looks awesome. What do you guys think? So far, so good. I'm going to get it all finished up. Then we're going to sort out that engine bay. I'll see you in a bit. That's all the suspension finished. Looking fantastic in this orange and white, and I really love these air shocks. They look great coloured. A lot better than I thought they were going to. But the orange and white is such a pairing, and these Bentley brakes, I know people are going to be upset that we don't have them and they don't exist. I mean, they do exist, but you can't buy them anywhere. So if you had a car that had them on and you couldn't repair the brakes, you would not physically be able to buy these brakes. Again, that's why I won't release the config. It will get removed even if I did because of this feature. I really want these in the game. I know they're in the game, but like as a performance part, maybe take the Bentley off the front there and just have them blank. They would look insane. Love these. Anyway, let's move on. What do you all think of this suspension? I think it looks great. One of my favourites. The orange and white is such a good combo. But let's move on. Oh, one more thing. It does clip a little bit through the sway bar. Sadly, nothing I could do about it. It wouldn't line up. There's a few little issues with this car. Just one of them things when you're making mods or configs. Sometimes things just won't quite go together the way you want them to. But let's get on and get this engine bay sorted. I did the fuel tank and the fuel pump earlier, so we'll get on with the wishy-washy reservoir. In you go, the coolant reservoir at the front there. Also, the power steering reservoir, in you go, ECU, ABS. I'm just going to start throwing all of this in. The brake servo, the battery. I didn't have to pick it up because I had to buy a new one. The ABS module, in you go. On. Oh, I missed. Oh, there we go. Try again. Third time's the charm. Got the radiator here, popping that one in along with the fan housing kit to go with it. Then we've got the air filter base. Sadly, this one doesn't take any colour, so it just had to go black. I kind of wanted it orange or white, but it didn't work, so we just had to put it black. But then I did do some orange clips just to say, well, yours game. I want a bit of orange on this air filter. I will get it, so I did. So we've got some orange on the clips, and then the fuse box, which is the last piece to go in here, is in a white, and I think it looks absolutely stunning in white. There isn't too many fuses in it. It's just hard to see when they are in white, so I'm just going to get on and finish this, and then we can take a look at the engine bay before we go and build that beautiful little i3 engine. I'm looking forward to it. Maybe not so much on the colour side of things, but it is still looking sweet. There we go. That is the engine bay all finished. Let's step out and step back over. Now, sadly, again, you got a few bits popping through there. It just is what it is. And obviously there is that drive axle that runs through the middle there that doesn't actually line up with anything. But we've got the black fuse box, black air intake, should I say, and the white fuse box, separating a bit of the colour from this orange engine bay. And then obviously the white cross member that I spoke about earlier. It is looking snazzy though. Let's go and build that beautiful little i3 engine. Now, we didn't see much of it when I tore it apart, so I'm going to show you this bit now. So we've got the engine block, and I've done it in orange, not black. As you can see, it's a bit of a dull orange most of the way around, but there is a few splashes of brighter orange on these arms and things like that. Looking pretty cool. We'll get the crankshaft in. I just basically want to show you the piston layout, because I normally show you that. So we've got 3 pistons, being an inline 3, that makes perfect sense. 2 crankshaft bearing caps, and then 3 rod caps on there. That's pretty much the base of that. We've obviously got the flywheel, all the performance parts. We all see them every time. So I'll get on and get this finished. We'll get the oil pan on, which is also in orange. We'll get it rotated, and we'll get the top half finished. I'll see you in a second. There we go. As you can see, the engine block itself is a little dull, but it's not too bad. And it's almost got sort of a bronzy look to it. I quite like it. The oil pan there in the orange looking pretty snazzy. Let's get a few of these pieces on. One idle roller. Got the oil filter that was orange, and then I painted it orange, and it came out this sort of like salmon-y colour. But never mind, anyway. I've got the alternator going in its lovely performance parts chrome. And a water pump also in the orange, just for a splash going on here. Now, one thing I missed, and you might miss as well, is a thermostat in this engine. It sits in there, but it's sort of, when you've got the main colour block in its original colour, you can't see that outlining. It is quite hard to see. So just bear in mind, there is a thermostat on this engine. Awesome. Let's get this engine head on, moving on up. I've done that one in orange. It is a performance part, so only the top bit goes orange a little bit here. The rest of the outside stays in that lovely chrome colour. Is a nice colour, but it definitely wasn't what we were going for today. But I think this is going to need performance parts. I don't think it's going to be the most powerful engine in the world. We've got 2 camshafts. We've got 3 spark plugs. And then we've got 8 camshaft caps going down there. So I'll get all of this in along with some ignition coils as well. And I'll see you again in a second. Just putting on the last ignition coil now. On you go. We've got a lovely fuel rail in here. I've done that one in white because we want some colour. Turbocharger can't be painted, but sits lovely in its performance colouring. Awesome. Intake manifold also can't be painted and is a slightly different colour, but does sort of match that engine block there. Looking pretty cool. We've got some cam gears to go on. Let's get you on. On you go. On you go. We'll move over. We'll move down and get the front of this engine finished first. Timing belt. Another idle roller, in you go. And then the timing cover. Nice, I did remember it. So we've done that one in the white because there isn't really that much colour on this engine. It's all down the bottom, really, which is a bit weird for an engine for me. Normally all the colour's at the top. But anyway, moving on. Crankshaft pulley, in you go. Another idle roller there, just for good measure. And a belt. There we go. A lovely belt. And then the belt tensioner, which is in orange, just for a bit more colour on the front half of this engine. Let's move on up. Now, the engine head cover... For me, these always get painted and they always look great, in my opinion. This one takes 0 colour at all, so it just had to go black. I'm a bit disappointed by that. I kind of wanted it either orange or white or something like that, so I've had to make do with all the colours around it, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. Last piece to go in is the throttle. I have done that one in white. Am I going to leave that white? Or should I do it orange? I think I should do it orange. I'm going to go do that orange. I'll be back in a second. And I'm back, and it is now orange. Does it look better? Does it look worse? I prefer it. I definitely prefer that. That looks a lot better. That's the problem when you paint all of these parts inside the paint booth. You can't see what they look like until you throw it all together like this. You just have to kind of hope for the best. I'm normally pretty good at it, as some of you've probably already seen. But, yeah, that one just... Yeah, I went with white, and I should have swapped it to orange. But that is the engine finished. Looking pretty cool. We need to drop it in the car and see how it's going to look. I'm a bit worried about this one. I don't like that black engine cover, but I need to get some photos first, so I'm going to grab them, and then we'll get it dropped in. Right then, let's get this i3 Turbo dropped into our beautiful little car. Looking insane. I'm hoping this engine looks pretty good in there. Let's just get it in and get this put away, and then have a look. I don't want to... That doesn't look too bad. There is a few bits of black in the engine bay anyway, so it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Obviously, you've got the battery, the power steering reservoir, the brake booster. Does that look like it's got liquid in, or is that just a reflection? Oh, it's just a reflection. Never mind. I thought I haven't filled that up. Yeah, how's it got liquid in it? Anyway, it's not looking too bad. Is there any clipping anywhere? A tiny little bit with that throttle. Probably could have moved the engine ever so slightly. Let's have a look. It doesn't look bad, though. I'm quite happy with that. Looking, you've got orange, you've got white, you've got a splash of black on there. We've got a splash of black on the car anyway, so it's not too bad. It's looking all right. Now, the big question is what colour do I do these rims? Now, do I do white ones at the front with the orange brake calipers and then orange ones at the back with the whitish brake calipers? Do I just go straight up black on them both? Do I go straight up white? Do I go straight up orange? Do I do a green just for good measure? I'm not sure. We will come to that one in a little while. Do you know what I haven't got for this car, though? Totally forgot it, missed it completely, is a starter. So we need to go and get that. I need to get this gearbox in. So we'll throw the gearbox in a lovely orange there, just to blend it in with the rest of the car. And where does the starter live? It lives there. Cool. I'll add that to the shopping list. We'll buy the front drive shaft just to show you how much it doesn't fit. And it does upset me that I couldn't just get this lower, or I couldn't move this as its own individual part to drop it in the middle of the gearbox, and then it would have lined up. See, these line up with the gearbox perfectly, but this doesn't line up with the rest of it. This should be down there, which is a bit of a shame. But anyway, I'm going to get all the exhaust in. I had lined all of this up. In fact, I spent ages lining all of this up. I don't know why it's not lined up anymore. Haven't got time now to go back and change it, but never mind. I'll get on and get the rest of this finished. We'll get some wheels done, and I'll see you outside in just a little bit when this car... Oh, my God, I'm stuck. will all be finished. And just before I do that, I just want to show you something. This has been broken for ages and it should have been fixed now. So when you move it over, it's now sitting here. It sat here for a little while. It was at the front. We'll just quickly tint the windows. I'm just going to do this real fast. 100% all the way around. That is what I do. And then 80%-ish for the windshield. Is that looking too dark? It's not. Well, maybe we'll go down to 70. 70 will be good. There we go. 70 on the windscreen. I just wanted to do that so I can put this away and show you that they fixed it. In the update, it now goes back right and flat against the wall instead of back at the angle like the original position was. Awesome. I love it when they fix things. Pretty cool. And that is this car pretty much finished. Going to get the wheels done now. See you in a bit. Here we are then, all finished with the Karagiri Tamago, or however you are supposed to pronounce that name, I'm not sure. Looking absolutely incredible. I'm very, very pleased with how it turned out. Obviously, we've got a few little bonus parts in there, which we will talk about a little bit more in just a second. But first off, let's get to that engine. I think it looks pretty sweet. I wish you could have painted a little bit more on it. That turbocharger would have been nice to paint. Would have been better if these could accept a bit more colour. Would have been nicer. And this, the normal version, can paint about the same as the head cover, so it wouldn't have been very good anyway, which is why I left it the performance one. It still looks pretty cool. I just wish there could have been a little bit more on it. But apart from that, it still looks insane. Let's jump in very quickly. Let's talk about these rims. I've gone for the rim at 3 here. I think they look absolutely incredible. I've got the white rim at the front with that orange Bentley brake caliper. Now, I really want them to take Bentley off of that and just make that into a performance part that you can put on any car. Would be absolutely incredible, and maybe even boost the braking power a little bit, same as the brake calipers. But I just want that brake in. I don't care if it adds any benefit or not. It just paints so well and it looks so good. Anyway, back to the rims. They are the Rim 3, as I said. At the front here, they are 17-inch with a 205 width and a 30 profile. And again, finished in white, looking absolutely insane. At the back, we've got them finished in orange, and there is a grey/silver/white brake caliper poking through there. You can see it's not very white in comparison to the body there. And that bit's very blurry in comparison to that bit. But never mind, I missed a few little details there. Could have done that a tiny bit better. Still looks good, though. The rear ones are 17-inch again. It's all the way around. But these are 275 thick with a 25 profile. Looking absolutely great. I'm so happy with them. And I think this car looks stunning. I'm so pleased with it. There is a few little things that are bad about this car. For example, these are all spoilers, which means when you open the trunk, they all come with you. So I've got no side skirts now. That's what it looks like without the side skirts on. Bit higher, but still quite low. It just doesn't help that this is blacked out. Otherwise, it would look awesome. And obviously, we've got our covering our shocks there on that spoiler. So we'll just close that one again. And you can just about see through the window. Not really. That looks funny. I don't know what's going on. I can just about see the orange poking up on that side. But oh, there it is. Just about. But it is relatively hidden. It's not too bad. And obviously, when you open the door, you've got that massive spoiler sticking through there, along with the little grab handle bits just there and there, which is a bit of a shame. But let's jump in and see what this one sounds like. There you go. You can see them just poking through the doors there. It's not too bad. It just is what it is for the side skirt effect. But let's get her started and see what she sounds like. Very futuristic, got a nice little hum to it. Got a bit of meat when you accelerate as well. Let's give it some real gas. Just that little turbo whistle in the background. It is my favourite part about it. But let's get this one on the dyno and see what power she's got. Here we are then on the dyno with the Virtual Mechanic edition of the Karagiri Tamago with its i3 double overhead camera turbocharged engine, 149 factory horsepower. How much have we added today? Let's have a look. A gain of 83 horsepower. Not the biggest, but it was only 150 to start with. 56% gain, so not bad. Definitely could have been better. But bringing our power now up to 232 horsepower. What will that equate to in kilometers per hour on the track? Let's go and see the gearbox tuning setup today. There she is. I've gone for a ratio of 3 with this one. 3.62 in first gear and curving all the way down quite nicely up to 420 kilometers an hour. That was accidental, I promise you. Let's get it on the track though, and let's see what speed we can get out of it. Here we are then on the track. I'm not expecting to break any records today, so let's just go. Get the power down. Not too bad. It does quite well, 0 to 100. That ain't bad at all. Where will we end up? I've no idea with this one. It's quite low power, but it's quite light and small. There's 200 kilometers an hour. If we can get up to 300, I'll be really, really happy, but we'll see. I doubt it. We're sort of petering off now at 250. We're in 5th gear. Do we get into 6th? There's 6th. Come on, we can do it. Come on, 300. We're not going to make 300, so I'm going to go 282. Come on, little car, you can do it. 282, 3, 4, 5, 6. 286. Happy with that. 286 kilometers an hour from a now written off car because it's on its roof. So 286 kilometers an hour was definitely not the fastest, but I wasn't expecting it to be. It does put it 101st on our speederboard out of 114 cars now, which is pretty good. And I think this one looks so sweet. Doesn't bump, doesn't grind, doesn't scrape anywhere on the track. It was joy to drive. Not the quickest, but still a joy to drive nonetheless. And I really love how this one looks. Let me know what you guys think of this one in the comments below. And also, if you're on Discord today, when you watch this video, is the last day to get entries in. There is another 24-hour period to vote for whichever one is your favourite. If you want to vote for mine, get into the Discord channel, link in the description below, and go and give it a vote. All the instructions are on the competition page, and then there's a competition Hall of Fame page, or a Hall of Fame page, where the previous winners go. So come and check it out. Come in and say hi regardless, and give us a vote. If you want to vote for mine, I mean, by all means, there's plenty of other cool-looking ones in there. Vote for whichever one you think is your favourite. I just like doing this. It's a fun competition. It's a bit of fun for everybody to get involved with, and it just makes it a bit more meaningful. You know, mine was better than yours. We don't do that in the chat, but obviously, you know, people still pick whichever one is the favourite. So that is it for today's car. Let's go into some facts and figures. Obviously, we won't be selling this one. This is my variation, so I won't be selling it. We will be moving it away, but we do need to see whether it is worth a profit. So let's jump in. I bought the car for $11,565 and was already losing profit of $1,153 when we started. Obviously, I'm also not going to open any of this up because only that one opens up well. You've got spoilers behind the door, and then all the spoilers come out if you open the trunk. So we'll keep the hood open for a minute. But anyway, yeah, so $11,565 is what I paid for it. I have spent a further $41,654 modifying it today. Luckily, I did manage to repair the brakes and didn't have to go and buy this car brand new just to rub the brakes off of it. But there we go. So our total spend is $53,219, which I'm quite pleased about. It's not too bad, but let's see if it is worth it in the end. Let's jump in and have a look. So is the Virtual Mechanic Edition, 222,500 kilometers. We got it from the auction, and it is now all finished off. There's the stance from the normal height. Mine is a lot lower, obviously. We squeezed some more power out of that engine, 56% up to 232 now, but will we profit from it? Let's have a look. 64,531 is the sale price, minus our 53,219, so we're a little over 10 grand in profit. The exact figure is 11,312 profit. Make sure I press the right button because I don't want to sell this car. We will be moving it to the parking though, so off you go. Why am I stuck? There we go. What was I stuck on? Absolutely nothing. Pressing the wrong button probably, but there we go. Looking wonderful. It is time to say goodbye to this one though, so we're just going to move car to the parking. Off you go. Now, some of you eagle-eyed viewers out there might have noticed that the Mazda DLC is out now. Gives you a clue as to which day I'm filming this, by the way. But anyway, that Mazda DLC is out now. I have them in the garage, and that's what we're going to go and look at. They're up next. Let's see, which one have I gone for? I couldn't decide. They are both here. I've got the Mazda RX-7 here, looking pretty sorry for itself, if I'm being honest. Beautiful new engines with this update as well. Cannot wait to get stuck into these. And then we've got the Mazda. Is this the RX-3? I always get it wrong. Yeah, RX-3 looking absolutely beautiful. And this looks like it has a livery on it. So they may have done liveries for the DLC cars, which they don't normally do. Not that much. Obviously, the Hot Rods did, but that was a different story, I think. Most of the other DLCs don't get liveries, but these look like they have them. So let's jump in. This engine opens the other way. I knew that. That's a cool looking engine as well. That's looking pretty sick. Cannot wait to get stuck into either of these two. Now, I want you guys to pick which one shall I do for Friday's video. The other one I will just do on Monday, so it doesn't matter too much, but which one would you like to see me do first? The RX-7, leave a comment below saying RX-7, or the RX-3, again, leave a comment below saying RX-3. This comes out on Wednesday. Obviously, I will be making the video Thursday. I normally start around lunchtime, have some lunch and then start making a video. So we shall see if you guys can get some comments in at deciding which one you want to go for. You have all of today and a little bit, or the rest of today and a little bit of tomorrow to decide. I would love to hear from you. That is for next time, though. We will be updating this very soon again, because obviously we will have the next winner, whoever that is going to be. We're not sure yet. I will move mine up, I think, and then whoever's will go in at the middle. And we're probably going to have to rearrange this and get rid of a few of these around the outside and keep this just for winners soon enough, but not quite yet. So do get over to Discord, link in the description below. Come and join us. But I do want your comments on what you would like to see me work on next out of these two, the RX-7 or the RX-3, both from the newest DLC. Looking pretty cool. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.